Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help? And if you...
미인이십니다. 아름다우세요.
This is not bottom.
He is much better. Right in there.
Hello. You are not dreaming. This channel finally uploaded something which is not a fucking short. It is gonna be a really long video which we are going to go through. And if you're new around here, my name is Yukta. Today we are going to talk about pretty privilege, since I grew up around the people who were like,
I can do anything once I put my mind into it, and I have all the advantages that I could possibly get in order to succeed.
since acknowledging shit like unfair advantages wasn't really a thing back then, and I pretty much concluded that everything was my fault, because that was one of the things which many struggle to accept or care to admit or even talk about. So for that little me, we need to have this conversation about pretty privilege.
You're an awful person.
Maybe, but I'm rich and I'm pretty, so it doesn't really matter.
So when I Google the definition of pretty privilege, this is what comes up. Pretty privilege works on the principle that people who are deemed more attractive based on accepted societal beauty standards have an upper hand in the world and are afforded many opportunities than us regular folks, which is pretty self-deprecating, not gonna lie.
Pretty privilege is so intriguing to me because as long as you're attractive, basically any of your bad traits can be seen as a good thing. If you love yourself and you're hot, you're just really confident, rightfully confident. But if you're not hot, people are going to think you're conceited. If you talk a lot but you're attractive, then you're just really outgoing. But if you're not attractive, you're annoying and talk way too fucking much. If you're weird and different, but you're hot, you're just quirky. Just so fucking quirky. But if you're not hot, you're a freak. Y'all want to talk about pretty privilege? I'm seeing a lot of pretty people talking about how pretty privilege isn't real and they don't fucking have it and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. No. You want to talk about pretty privilege? Talk to people who had a glow up. If they were ugly in some kind of way and now they're somewhat attractive or very attractive, whatever, they will tell you pretty privilege is fucking real. Because when you weren't attractive, it was like everything you did was like annoying. Like your presence just like pissed people off. If you asked a question, you were the biggest like irritation of life. But when you're like stereotypically attractive, like whatever, you get away with so much more. People are so much nicer to you. It is the realest shit. It's beyond me that this is even a fucking conversation. Let's be fucking for real.
Let me talk about my personal experience. I never saw myself as pretty since the beginning till the 12th grade. I was actually bullied because of the way that I look. In first grade, I was shoved into the bathroom by some girls and they locked it. And they probably don't even remember it, but I do, because that fucking traumatized me. And yeah, that's how bullying works. In second grade, there was these two guys who were really brutal towards me, and they would make me feel bad about pretty much everything about myself, and I would end up crying myself to sleep every single day. And I was in second grade. Most of my middle school, I never really felt beautiful. Most of my friends would think that it is okay to make fun of the things I was the most insecure about. Literally everything. They would make fun of literally everything. The way I looked, the way I walked, the way I talked. Like everything was then on their radar, and that pretty much made me sad. In 11th grade, I remember this girl was like really popular, really smart. Like she was a fucking genius. She would not study at all, but like ace the test. Like she was one of those. Everybody in the academy I go to knew who she was, and a lot of guys had a crush on her. But she was so fucking insecure, and okay, I get it. Everybody's insecure, but her projection was always on me. Like, they were bad. We were sitting, and she was like, oh my god, I gained so much weight after coming in. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. And she was like, I really need to lose weight. And I'm like, and she was like, I really need to lose weight so that I don't end up looking like you. I did have my weight fluctuations throughout my life, but I remember being like the normal weight, not even on the chunkiest side at that point. I was like really normal. I did not have fucking abs or something. I wasn't fat by any means. This bitch, I swear to God, like, I was not on like the super skinny side like her. Oh my god, are you fucking okay in your head to even say things like that? At that moment, I could say a lot of bad things. I just did not want another comment to hurt someone's self-esteem the way her comments hurt me. I did not want to hurt her like that, and I'm proud that I did that. But like, it doesn't change the fact like she was a fucking asshole. There were terrible people around me, and that's the reason why I never really felt beautiful. The thing was, there were a lot of girls like her in my life. For some reason, they were proud that they were not eating enough. They would post memes about that on social media. Like, oh my god, I just ate this much today. I can't even believe that people eat more than this. Like, babe, am I supposed to feel bad for like eating like a normal person?
These Insta stories would have the most annoying pick-me girl energy. I am not shaming anyone for not eating enough, but the way they romanticize that lifestyle was weird. Like, people have eating disorders and they might watch your stories. You proud that you eat one roti in the entire day? Just shut up and don't post about it. These stories would go like pop. I told my boyfriend that I had 3 complete meals today and he was like, oh my god, my baby girl fought a war or something. I know people struggle with eating, but is this really necessary? It really is not a joke. I saw that story and stopped having dinner each day for 6 months. I was in a bad headspace, and watching that made me feel like maybe adopting that lifestyle is the only way I would feel good about myself. I know that I am only seeing my perspective, so I might be biased on this take. So feel free to comment your own perspective. I just find it annoying, that's all. I am no one to tell anyone what to do. It's just that I felt hurt.
Most of my friends were skinny and they would never say shit like that. There's just one person who is just a fucking asshole for no fucking reason at all.
뒤참이는 거 안 보여? 차 빼라.
What I think is great about this anime is it highlights an interesting concept regarding how people will treat you based on your looks, and in general, pretty privilege. Prior to his glow-up, the protagonist Yuya Tenju has been bullied his entire life based on his outward appearance. And after having one of the most insane physical transformations in a short period of time, we see how he's treated like a completely different person. But what makes this show entertaining is we see how ill-equipped Tenju is to handle these changes. And it brings an interesting notion that those who consider themselves unattractive in their formative years and have a glow up as they get older will still carry the past trauma with them, which comes from years of enduring being bullied and tormented.
Now, it is literally the second day of college. I'm in first year and the guy has a crush on me already, and I'm like, okay, this might be a mistake. This might have been an accident, because there is no way I am beautiful to the point that people actually want to be in a relationship with me.
No, they don't. Who wants a relationship these days? 60 men out of 100 in my college just want an alive girl they can mess with. For a girl like me with okay looks, they just want to be seen with me. And I am the damn trophy they can talk on and on about.
Until that point, I never really believed anyone who had called me pretty in my whole life. So how am I supposed to like believe in this? A week passes by and now there's 4 guys who have a crush on me, and I'm like, whoa, okay, hold your horses. Now there's this guy who takes me out on a date and we break up not more than 3 weeks after we started dating. Don't ask. I go back to the college and there are guys literally hoarding me to the point that I am not able to spend a lot of time with my girlfriends. Yeah, like genuine friends who were girls. Okay? We're not gonna go there. And then there are guys fighting over me, and I'm not joking. Like, that's not fun. There were physical fights happening because this guy wanted me to date him, and he would go around and threaten my friends to not be around me, my guy friends, because he got jealous, but he hasn't talked to me till that point. And he was fucking insane. No, two guys fighting over you is not as exciting as it sounds. It's actually scary because I was miserable at that point. It was emotionally draining because these guys think that is okay to give threats to every guy I talk to. So in a way, I blamed myself for putting my friends in unsafe situations. And I have noticed this. I started wearing a lot of makeup, right? I started expressing myself more through makeup and dressing. But the thing is, I am studying engineering, so most of the times people don't really take me seriously. The result in my first term, it was good. It was acceptable. When we would discuss about like the academics and stuff, like people would just exclude me in my class because apparently I wasn't smart enough. The thing is, I was smart enough. I just did not look smart enough to them because I had my highlights, I had my makeup, and I had everything that, you know, engineering students are not supposed to focus on.
You're beautiful.
Thank you. But what else?
What else is there?
And people just took me for granted, my IDS for granted. If we were participating in group, people would just ignore, and that is really hurtful because I don't think that I got all pretty all of a sudden. I got all this attention mostly because it is an engineering college and there is a shortage of girls, and then they saw me and several other girls, and I bet there are a lot of girls who have similar experiences as me. I'm someone who used to have a lot of guy friends in middle school and high school, and they were like genuine bonds of friendship, and it was nice. Our friendships were never ruined because the person in front of me caught feelings. I would just not expect the guy to catch feelings for me at all. And now in college I did get a lot of attention from guys, but I wasn't able to keep those friendships because the guys on the other side always had like the similar intentions. They wanted to date me. Never had most guys approached me with a genuine intention of making a genuine friend out of me. And of course, they never stayed friends with me after knowing that I don't want a relationship with them. And I don't think I could form meaningful friendships with guys anymore because most of them just left after knowing that they aren't going to get anything from me. So one day I was sitting and thinking about what changed so that I became this beautiful girl from the pathetic girl from high school. And then it hit me that, oh my god, my acne disappeared, and that's the reason why people are treating me differently, and that's the sole reason why I am more confident. And I felt so pathetic, and I thought that being pretty would come with a lot of advantages, and it did come with a lot of advantages, but the disadvantages I had to face was like scary because I would genuinely be scared if guys approached me, and a lot of time I would be so fucking paranoid about my guy friends. But I have realized that the world indeed is shallow, and since I've been onto the extreme side of the spectrum, I know that there is definitely a difference in the way people treat you. People really think that it is okay for them to give someone a hard time just because they think that they are not as appealing as they expect. There would be teasing involved and sometimes bullying involved whether that would be physical or cyber bullying. And it's just disgusting that all they see in this person is this one flaw and they have no control over it, and they never move past it, and they never care to see what's inside.
What's up, mama? Yeah.
This is Jong Soyeon. I'm probably butchering her name. She's the leader of this ginormously successful group called G-Idol. But there's more to that. She's credited for writing all the songs that G-Idol has ever released. She's a great performer, an amazing lyricist, and a ridiculously underrated dancer and producer, as well as who is credited in a lot of Idol's discography. She participated in 2 shows as a contestant before making her debut, Produce 21 and Unpretty Rap Star. Her looks were under great scrutiny in these 2 shows, and Soyeon actually responded to the hate she was getting at the time. And these are the statements that I'm going to read to you guys. Whenever I see all the beautiful and doll-like trainees around me, I feel like they are completely different beings from someone like me. Soyeon has been quite honest and opened up, saying after reading those comments, it was always annoying to look at myself in the mirror. The thing was that those comments actually overshadowed the talent she had. She did not win any of those shows. She pretty much made Idol after that. No one was able to see past her face in those shows. The thing is, she isn't even ugly. I know that beauty is subjective, but really? Like, really? Really? Like, you find that ugly? Like, she's fucking gorgeous. And luckily, she got the recognition she deserves because people at Cube saw what she could offer and made her work accordingly and gain everything she deserved. First time Cube doing the right thing.
No problem. I don't care. You're you, I'm me.
스스로 가장 마음에 드는 점은?
장은영이가. I want to be rich, I want to be healthy, and I want to be happy.
Okay, this is Jang Won-young. I am probably butchering everybody's name in this video, so just bear with me. Won-young is 2004 born idol, who is probably the most hated idol at this point in the time being. And the worst part is that the most of the hate is not even justified. She's a year younger than me. I cannot imagine going through that much amount of hate. She placed first in the Idol survival show Produce 48 and therefore debuted in IZ*ONE, and after that she debuted in a group called IVE. Both the groups were massively successful. The hate train wasn't there when she was in IZ*ONE, but when she debuted in IVE, the hate multiplied exponentially. So this is what I found on Quora on why she's hated that much. Won-young tries hard to be pretty. Won-young wants to get male idols' attention. Won-young did too much plastic surgery. Every idol has done plastic surgery. Hers actually looks really natural, okay? Won-young is the company's favorite. She gets the best outfit, which is not her fault, it's the company's fault. And there are so many claims like this which make me go like, they are not letting this 17-year-old even breathe, because they have a problem with literally everything she does, and that makes me so fucking frustrated, I cannot tell you. Now pretty privilege comes with a lot of its repercussions, and that means that people put every little thing you do under microscope. Like, if this person is so perfect, why did he or she did this? This is mostly due to jealousy. A lot of women raised into the environment where they are made to see other women as competition rather than a sister. Therefore, their accomplishments end up hurting the other person, and that is really interesting. Since most of Won Young's antis are boy group friends, her successes end up irking them because secretly they wish that they had what she has, which is beauty, success, and recognition at that young age. And she has a bigger possibility of dating their favorite idol than they have. That becomes the last straw for them and gives them the reason to bash her as much as they want. When I tell you that I got attention from boys, I was rather sad that I did, because most men who showed interest didn't really have a good intention. Most men who approached me in college were very quick to make the conversation sexual, and sometimes they kind of took my personal space for granted, and sometimes I even felt violated. Like when I met a few people, they kind of expected me to talk like I'm their best friend for like last 20 years, and some of them would go too far with skinship. Like, no, I do not appreciate you putting your hand on my waist in like our 8th conversation. Like, I do not appreciate you finding my number without me knowing.
It's not about the specific things they did, it's more about how they knew that I was uncomfortable and they still chose to continue anyways.
And when I got angry, they gaslit me into thinking that I'm the one in the wrong. Since I was an easygoing person, they kinda expected me to go with it, which is gross, and they actually thought like that. Being on the prettier side actually makes you one of the first targets for some pretty uncomfortable situations, and a lot of times some really unsafe situations, for which beware. So what about those who do not have pretty privilege? The thing is, an ugly person just does not exist. You're beautiful, but the only people who stop you thinking like that are people around you. Let's talk about bullying and association of physical features with it. Almost any type of physical characteristic that is different or unique can attract the attention of bullies. It may be the victim is too short, tall, thin, obese. Like literally anything. They might wear glasses or have acne, a large nose. A bully will pick up the feature and distort it into a target. At this day and age, cyber bullies have taken the role. The thing is that bullies make you feel bad about a lot of features you have. And some of those bullies, let's just say, colonized some countries and made some people feel bad about the beautiful features that they already had, like color of their skin, shape of their nose, shape of their eyes, beautiful hair, which was different than what colonizers had. And in order to make themselves feel superior, they just ridiculed those features. And this is how, my friends, Eurocentric beauty standards were formed. And this became such a significant part of history that it shaped the way billions of people saw beauty as. Now, beauty standards are always changing, but what stays the same is the bullying. In K-pop, some jerks like to call a member of a group black hole of the group, because according to them, their visuals are ruining the vibe of the group, which is so fucking stupid. I can't. This bullying can be so severe that it could lead to eating disorders. Just because some people want to fit in the current standard of beauty and gain the privilege which comes with it, they go through the extreme diets which are extremely dangerous for their health. Or in a way, they start seeking control. They want to take back the control of their life that they lost to bullies. I can't imagine when people put all the credit of your success on the way you look. For example, you have worked day and night preparing this presentation for the client. It goes well. and the client is satisfied, and instead of acknowledging your hard work, your coworkers give all the credit to the way you look, the pretty privilege you had. It would be so frustrating when you put your heart and soul into something, and in the end, people do not even acknowledge your hard work. In some K-pop groups, visual positions are assigned to the idols by the companies, and the fans have a hard time seeing past that. They actually worked hard to get where they are now, but people actually forget to see that. The thing about women is that people love to deflect their successes on the external attributes that might have helped. That is why the conversation of, oh, she had nothing special, she probably slept her way through the top, comes into picture in the first place. We love making women feel miserable as society. So is it fair to use the pretty privilege? In recent years, apps like TikTok and Instagram have been booming, and we know that people on there get famous solely on the basis of how they look. Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, Bella Poarch, and Lauren Gray are some examples. A lot of successful actors have relied on pretty privilege, and even singers. There are singers who look pretty but bring nothing to the table when it comes to singing, and there are countless other examples where people have taken advantage of it. But the thing is that the feedback they receive is that you are famous because you are pretty, and you don't deserve it. The thing is that it is completely okay to use unfair advantages. We just have to recognize them and use them to their full potential, because that is unfortunately how the world works. The reality in which we live is unfair. Unfair advantages can come in all forms, like pretty privilege, financial stability, having a lot of money, having a stable household, people around you are away from substance abuse, being highly intelligent, lack of mental illness, and being emotionally fit or physically fit, having supporting parents, having good work ethic, etc. And the thing is that no individual has all the unfair advantages, and most of you watching have at least one unfair advantage over the others. And a lot of people have it much worse. So we need to identify what we have and focus on using it to achieve successes. And remember that no one is ugly. It's either just in our head or we are not around the right people. We need to know that self-worth must rely on what type of person we are instead of how we look or how much work we do. Keep that in mind. With that, I conclude this video. I hope you liked it. Comment down below a clown emoji if you stick till the end, so that I know that you're the real one, buddy. With that, I am gonna say goodbye.